Hey, how's it going, YouTube? This is Adam from Deadman Walking 316, giving you the 2012 TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view recap. Just got off the air about a couple hours ago, so I thought I would, post this little quick review and just give you my opinion on the pay-per-view overall. The show opened with Hulk Hogan coming out, basically saying that TNA is going to move forward into the future and be able to become a strong company. Now, this was nice. I don't know if I would have preferred Dixie or Hogan. I mean, it was still a good pop for Hogan to come out and said that the opening match was now going to be for the X Division Championship between Austin Aries and Samoa Joe. Now, this match was absolutely awesome. I mean, up until maybe around the co-main event, this was probably the match of the night for me. Solid wrestling out of these two. I mean, what would you really expect between Austin Aries and Samoa Joe? Ultimately ended with Austin Aries getting the victory with a very sick brainbuster. I really hope they start using Samoa Joe more often because it's quite obvious just the way the crowd, just really takes to him and how, just his work ethic for the last couple of years. TNA's just kind of been putting him on the back burner for a lot of different things. And I don't think they realize what a great hand he really is in that company and how truly missed he would be if he decided to jump ship to the WWE. But anyways, again, great, fantastic match. From there, we moved on to Hernandez versus Kid Cash. Again, like I said in the preview, no reason for this match except for the fact that Hernandez is from Texas. And he threw around Kid Cash. Hernandez won. Moving on, we have Devon and Garrett Bischoff to take on the team of Robbie E and Robbie T. Now, this match was blah. There was no reason for it. It happened on pay-per-view, and we got over it, and we moved forward with our lives. Devon and Garrett Bischoff were successfully defeated Robbie E and Robbie T. Moving on, we had the triple threat match for the winner to fight either Bobby Roode or Sting at Impact this coming Thursday for the World Heavyweight title between Mr. Anderson, Jeff Hardy, and RVD. Spotfest galore was actually a lot better than I expected, even though it's still the same three guys that we always see in the main event title picture right now, at least for the last 6 to 8 months. Ultimately ending with my guy, Mr. Anderson, getting the fall and getting the victory, and will be fighting the champion this Thursday night. From there, we had the TNA Knockouts Championship match between Gail Kim defending her title against Ms. Tessmacher. Solid match overall. There's some parts, obviously, that, Ms. Tessmacher, not the most experienced woman in the business, but, I can see her really trying, and, with the right publicity in that, I could honestly see her being the next Trish Stratus of maybe even the TNA roster. Ultimately ended with a brand new TNA Knockouts champion in Ms. Tessmacher. By the way, she also is from Texas, so I can see the old usually cliche of you always lose in your home state, your hometown, doesn't apply very much to TNA. Moving on, we had Crimson with his open challenge where he challenged anybody from the back. And a lot of people were chanting Goldberg, 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 but the silence was actually, was stopped basically, or at least the chance was finally stopped when we had James Storm making his return, beat the living crap out of Crimson, and wound up actually ending the streak of Crimson in basically under 3 minutes, with Crimson getting no offense and kind of making Crimson look like a little bitch, and making every single person that Crimson fought before even much like a bigger bitch, aka Matt Morgan. You suck. Moving on, we had Bully Ray versus Joseph Parks. Now, of course, there was going to be a lot of stalling. There was some, not sure how to really work the match between, a supposed lawyer from Chicago and, this, bad guy from New York City. But it eventually ended with Joseph Parks going under the ring to hide from Bully Ray, and out comes Abyss, which was played by a different guy, but we don't know who it was because we never saw his face, which was very smart for TNA that they didn't try to show that off. Ultimately ended with Joseph Parks getting the victory on Bully Ray. If I ever thought that Bully Ray was going to get a world title match or a world title at all, it's clear that he's not going to. He's just there for putting over talent, putting over just other people and doesn't really care if he gets pushed. Because, quite frankly, he's in the best shape of his career. Why wouldn't he get pushed, even though he's, I believe 40 years old now? From there, we had the match of the night for the TNA World Tag Team Championship as Daniels and Kaz defended against AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. Wow. Just absolutely wow. Like, I knew this was going to be a great match, but I think this even surpassed my expectations. I mean, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, obviously delivering every single time. Kaz and Daniels, for them years and years of friendship, just have a great chemistry and great tag team experience as well. Overall, this was definitely the show stealer. I would have said that it would have been Aries and Joe going into this, but with all four of these guys just being able to play off each other from move after move, sequence after sequence, finally ending with Angle, by the way, tapping out Kaz, where Kaz was right beside the rope, could have reached it, but decided to tap. You look at the replay, you can be the judge of that if you want. Moving on, we also had, by the way, I almost forgot to add, Dixie Carter announced that the first inductee in the TNA Hall of Fame is Sting. Who the hell saw that coming? I'm still happy it's not the Macho Man. I'm very happy that it's not a young guy like James Storm or Bobby Roode or AJ Styles. Sting deserves it, even though I have read that he doesn't actually want the actual title of being, in the Hall of Fame this early. But you know what? Good for him. Good for TNA. Maybe get some, more publicity through this. And ultimately, I think if they're going to be doing the Hall of Fame with Sting, this should be his last run. And even though everybody says that every single year, if he's going to be, have the Hall of Fame in Bound for Glory, which was announced, then this should be his last year. He should do like a farewell tour or whatever, and then ultimately have his last match at Bound for Glory. Which then led to our world title match between Sting against Bobby Roode. Solid match, your normal Sting match. You fight in the crowd, you do some spots, you do a couple of moves, which ended with Bobby Roode getting the victory by smashing a beer bottle over Sting's head. Busting him open hard way, but I couldn't really tell. He could have bladed, but I'm not really sure. And then Sting, after the match, took him over to the stage and then gave him the Scorpion Death Drop off the stage through two tables, and Sting's head cracked the back of the concrete, which then split him open again. Good kudos for Sting for being able to do that and take that bump and all that. I mean, I wouldn't be wanting to take a back bump through there. I mean, off the stage if I know I'm going to be hitting the concrete, not the tables. But, again, just your normal type of Sting matchup. And like I said, Bobby Roode is still yours and mine's TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And with James Storms coming back, I don't know if they're going to rush or not, putting James Storm against Bobby Roode. But I really hope they don't. That should definitely be saved for Bound for Glory. Definitely keep it for the biggest show of the year. I would say, obviously, put in a cage, but they've always put it in a cage. But in any event, that was TNA Slammiversary. I give the entire show, out of 10, I will give it I'll give it a solid 8. I was very entertained. I enjoyed a lot of the aspects, and even some of the things that weren't so great. It didn't overstay its course, and we didn't see Brooke Hogan. That was always a plus. Anyways, like I said, this was my TNA Slammiversary 2012 review. My name is Adam. Check out all my other videos at Deadman Walking 316. And I will see you guys for WWE No Way Out next Sunday. Take care.